I will be speaking about functionalism. So first we need to identify what functional concepts are versus stuff concepts. A stuff concept is something that can be defined as a particular kind of material stuff. It is known as a thing or stuff and is usually actually physically conceived. While a functional concept, it makes reference to the functional role object plays. Serves a function instead of simply being physical. So our example here is a kiwi. It is a thing. It is a fruit. While we have the functional concept of fruit. While it is a kiwi, it is also a fruit. And fruits have a specific function that is a juicy thing that comes from a tree. So while you have the thing, you actually have the functional concept. A better example would be this one. So examples for stuff concept would be water, gold, wood, and they have functions, but we simply mention the thing or stuff. For example, here we have gold. We have a gold bar. And in functional concepts, we talk about money. So money can either be a credit card, it can be gold, it can be a dollar bill. We have given it a function and now it is known as money. Even though it is a thing, it is stuff, it has a function, and when we refer to it as money, we refer to the functional concept. So this relates to functionalism in this way. The basic idea of functionalism is to treat the mind as a functional concept. The brain is not our mind, but instead the ideas that are created, thoughts, memories, and the self, personality. Something is a mind if it functions accordingly. So, while the mind, the brain, is the stuff, the mind, the ideas, the thoughts, all that, we see it as a functional concept instead of just a physical thing. So, what this theory is stating is that whatever functions like a mind, it imitates the thought process that our minds go through, then it can also be called a mind. So as long as a mechanism that functions like the human mind is possessed, it can be said that that is a mind. Functionalism and artificial intelligence. According to functionalism, the human mind functions like a software program. As long as the hardware is advanced enough to run the program, then the program can be installed. So it can be said that our minds are like a computer, just a process that happens. And so if a computer can function like a mind, then the computer has a mind. Any machine that is complex enough to imitate the neurons in a brain and is able to function like a mind can be then considered a mind of its own. So here we have Alan Turing, who was born in 1912 and died in 1953. Interesting fact about Alan Turing was that he was so obsessed with Snow White that he actually killed himself by putting cyanide in an apple and then taking a bite out of it and then falling asleep forever. He was highly influential in the world of computer sciences and he came up with the idea of the Turing test. So the Turing test is basically a test where a tester asks a question to a computer and he is answered. The tester is not told whether a computer or a human is answering the questions. If the tester is not able to differentiate the answers of the human and the machine, then it can be said that the computer functions like the human mind. Therefore, the computer has a mind. In other words, this guy is asking questions to a computer and then the computer answers back. And some answers will be answered by a human while other answers will be produced by the computer itself. So if the person cannot tell the difference between answers generated by the computer or answers replied by the other person, then it can be said that the computer imitates the human mind. It functions the same way. Well, like any other theory, there is some problems with functionalism. Many continually argue that computers will never have a mind like the human mind. They argue that, number one, only living things can have minds. So some people will say a computer can't have a mind because it is not living. Or it can be said that a virus cannot have a mind because it does not contain life, even though they imitate the mind. And number two, computers are not unpredictable as they follow programs. Minds must act creatively. So this is saying that computers follow a process while the human minds act according to our own thoughts and experiences. While a computer, though it can learn, it only learns because of simple processes and not a creative manner. And number three, computers cannot feel. So in order to have a mind, you must have feelings, which computers obviously don't. So that's why some people disagree with functionalism. And that's basically it. Thank you.